Hello, hello. It is Wednesday, August 20th, 12 p.m. Central Time. So, right on the dot at 12, I'm just going to call it a day. And so, just kind of walk through the day today for myself. Everything is super red. So, that is just what it is. Um, so, in the morning, I think in the morning we had this super down candle. And here's the key levels that I was kind of paying attention to on the daily. And so you can kind of see here. Does that auto fit really? Yeah, and so here's the levels. So I had marked these levels kind of pre-market right here at this 23487, and then also this level here at this 23424. This was an obvious level, and then this next key level was, the next obvious point to go, and we got all the way down to there and then some. Even swept the low of Wednesday, the 6th, which is interesting. So nice big down day. So in the morning, I guess let me make this full screen. Yeah, and so in the morning, I saw price kind of break down, um, and I was like, all right, well, this is super heavy. We opened below this key level that I marked, and we went straight down. So on this push up, I went short and held on to it, and then decided to take it off as we broke the high of this one. And so that was, a nice little green, wasn't too crazy. Then I saw this candle break, and I was like, all right, well, maybe we're going to roll over now. Put this candle pushed up, went short, um, took it off here right above this pre-market low, and so took it off and just trying to see, okay, if are we going to base and try to shoot back up? Because that's one of my big things. Like I've been burned before, where price is going down and then all of a sudden it just shoots back up on the NQ. And so I was in and out here. So nice little greens, and then we broke pre-market low, also closed on the low, and also was below this yellow key level. And so I said, okay, let me hit it. Got the flush, got it out at the kind of the low of that candle, more or less. Because again, I was expecting, maybe we're going to push up. Didn't happen. Rolled over more. Again, just kind of quick scalping, right? Short, and got out as we didn't really kind of push lower. Um, and then candle broke down again. I was like, okay, let's short again. We got past this other key level that I marked, rode that down, kind of took that off at the low of that candle, which was really good. And then by that time, I had to just kind of walk away because I think I was wanting it to go lower, but I didn't want to get caught in anything. And I was really looking for like a push back up into this key level, or a push back up into this pre-market low, to where I can take a short and feel really good about it. And so I didn't want to short the lows and then things kind of run away from me, because for me it's like, if you're shorting on the lows, like, sure, you can have tight risk, um, but I just feel more comfortable on a pullback, especially on shorts. And so I kind of walked away. I was like, by this point, I was, nice and green. Like, I was happy. It was good. Um, so I kind of walked away, and I missed all this because I had to go do some things, as I usually do around this time. And then I get back to the charts around here, and then I see, like, wow, we're like super down. We're below this key level. How are we going to do if we kind of retest this? And so I was just watching price. I wasn't really looking for the long, given price was down so much. I was just looking for places to get short again. So I just let this ride up. I mean, this would have been a great long, but again, I was looking for the shorts. And so I just let this one keep going, keep going, keep going. And I was actually quite surprised. I was like, okay, this is pretty strong. Um, and when I was looking at this, I think this is, yeah, this candle, right? Like, you see, like, this big down candle, and I was like, okay, let's see how we do when we close that 1 hour. Like, do we fall over, or do we push back up? Here we broke new highs and we pushed back up. Um, and so I think the first thing I did was, I was really looking for it to get back up to here. But then when I saw that it kind of started pausing around here, I saw this breakdown. Kind of the HMAs were going red a little bit, and I said, okay, this looks like a good place to go short. Went for it. That played out pretty nice, and I actually got out. I was going for here as a target, like where it rejected here in this kind of support level. And so it got there, which was great, but I just didn't hold for it. I was like, well, let me, my target was here, but I was like, let's not be greedy and get out like around here. And so that's essentially what I did. And so that was a nice trade. I was happy about it. And then, so here's where I was like, well, are we going to continue lower or what's going to go on? And so I wait for it. It closes, push up green. We break down. I say, okay, maybe we're going to go lower on this push up, take a short, and it just breaks up higher, closes green. This one closed green. I was like, well, this is not good. This one shoots past that, and I was like, shit, got to get out, and I stopped. And by that time, I'm annoyed because this was a great trade, and then followed by this stop, and I'm just like, this is why you don't have set. This is why I don't try to hold so much when it comes to any trade. I'm just trying to be in and out and take my points and go. And so I was annoyed at that point, and so I was like, all right, let me walk away. Let's not get caught. And I was looking for the short again, so I didn't do anything on this long. And I like how it got closer to this key level. And so I'm watching price as it breaks down here, goes lower, pushes up. And I was like, all right, let's try the shorts in a little doji thing, nice flush candle. And at this point, it's 11:30 Central, which is like lunchtime, right? Eastern time. And so I know I'm not in a good. This is not the best time to be in a trade, but I thought like, hey, maybe price will just drift down, and you can kind of get into a good short. And so, but I didn't want to risk too much, right? Like I knew it was a bad time to trade, and so I wasn't willing to give it a lot of room. And so here, I basically put my once on this flush down. I was like, okay, I moved my stop to break even, and like I get wicked out break even right here. Pretty annoyed. I was like, okay, annoying. Got wicked out break even. Then I see this candle push up, and then it breaks down below, and I was like, all right, let me short again. Also because I see like the EMAs here, it's kind of crossing into the red. I was like, all right, might work out. And as this candle broke the low, moved it to break even. My stop was at break even again. And here we go. Goes down and goes up. I get wicked out at break even. I'm just like, well, shit. Three stops in a row at this point. Um, Two of them were break even, so it's fine. This one was, a little annoying stop. And I was just at this point, because this was such a good trade, and also I had like a really good morning, like I was super green, and when I got stopped out, I was like, man, like I was up this much, and now I'm stopped out, and I lost that much, and I want to get back to that number. And so like that was in my head at this point. Like I was just trying to get back to that number that I had before I got stopped out. And so that's where I'm actively knowing that like, hey, you're kind of going into revenge trading a little bit, and like I knew that, and so I walked away, kind of came back, and I said, okay, let's just be objective about what we're trying to do here, but not really giving it too much risk. And so that's why the break even stops, break even stops, break even stops. And then again, like I see prices, it looks like it's turning red, but it's kind of going sideways here. And then I look at this candle, closes on the high. This next one can't get above it. It closes red. And then this next one, as soon as it kind of broke the low of that, I go short. I move my stop to break even again. And on the open of this candle, when it didn't go lower, I was expecting it to go lower. I just took it off. And so I was out basically around here. And so that was nice. Like, not too, I think that was 63 to like, it's a 20-point trade. So I was like, okay, feeling a little bit better, all good. Watching price, watching price. This one wicked higher. We also wicked higher, but then we closed on the low. I was like, and we broke the low. So I was like, okay, maybe this high didn't go higher than this breakdown candle, but the low broke the low of the breakdown candle. And so I said, okay, maybe we'll go lower. Um, Took the shorts. Initial stop was above the high of this candle. And then as this one broke the low of this, I moved it down to break even. And then I took it out. I was looking for this low. Yeah, and I took it out about that low. And I saw the next candle kind of break the low, and I was like, oh, maybe we'll keep going. But at this point, again, it's lunchtime, and I was just, I got back to my number. And so psychologically, I'm back to where I started. So I feel better, but, kind of getting into revenge trading a little bit, which is not ideal. And then now price is going back up. And so that's kind of what it is. So nice and green for the day. Obviously, if I could have just held this short and made so much more just hanging on to it from here to down to this key level, but that's something I'm working on. This was a great trade. I think there was, yeah, I would take this trade all day. Super good. Wasn't too greedy. Took the nice thing. Getting back in right away, problematic, but it was worth a shot. Here, I think at least my stops were break even, and I was very conscious that I was kind of revenge trading a little bit, and I was really trying to just make back what I lost, which is not the right mindset to have. But again, controlled my risk, moved my stops to break even really quickly, and didn't give it too much room. So that's a win. So yeah, that's my day today. We'll see what tomorrow brings, but I'm just gonna go kind of reset, enjoy the day, and that's it. I think there's more news and stuff happening. I saw a bunch of tweets from Trump and stuff, but I don't I don't try to interpret that too much. I just know it's happening and just kind of watching the charts. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck out there, and I will talk to you tomorrow.